Imagine a world where shadows hold secrets and the rustling leaves whisper ancient tales. In this world, folklore paints a picture both enchanting and terrifying. The legend of the Changeling. A seemingly normal baby nestled in its cradle suddenly seems different. The child is not who they once were. A changeling has taken their place. These are not simply stories told to frighten children. They are warnings passed down through generations. They speak of a time when the veil between our world and the realm of fairies was thin. Changelings, these tales tell us, are fairy children, swapped for human babies. But why would the fair folk, creatures of magic and whimsy, desire a human child? The reasons are as varied as the whispers of the wind. Some say it's a matter of love, a fairy yearning for a child of their own. Others speak of darker motives, a cruel prank, a desire for a servant, or even a taste for human life. Whatever the reason, the legend of the Changeling has haunted the dreams of parents for centuries. It serves as a reminder that, even in the safety of our homes, the unknown can touch our lives in the most unsettling ways. The disappearance of a child is a parent's worst nightmare. In the world of the Changeling, this fear is heightened by an unsettling possibility. The child hasn't truly gone, but has been replaced. The healthy babe, once full of life, is now a sickly creature. His cries are different, its eyes hold a strange light. How does this happen? The folklore offers glimpses into the methods of the fair folk. Some tales speak of fairies sneaking into homes under the cover of darkness, their magic allowing them to slip past even the most watchful eyes. Others describe enchantments woven into the very air, lulling families into a slumber while the swap is made. The stolen child, whisked away to the fairy realm, faces an uncertain fate. Some stories tell of human children raised as fairy servants, forever bound to their captors. Others paint a more idyllic picture, the child raised with love and kindness, granted access to the wonders and magic of the fairy world. The fear of the Changeling lies not just in the taking, but in the not knowing. How can one be sure if their child is truly theirs? Folklore offers a litany of signs, each more disturbing than the last. The changeling child may bear an unsettling resemblance to its human family, yet something is clearly amiss. Its eyes might glitter with an unnatural light, its cries might sound like the wind whistling through the trees. It might possess an unsettling intelligence, speaking in riddles or displaying knowledge beyond its years. Physical differences are also common. The changeling child might be unusually small or grow at an alarming rate. It might have strange birthmarks, misshapen limbs, or an unnaturally large head. And while some changelings appear sickly and frail, others possess an uncanny strength capable of feats that would challenge a grown man. The behavior of a suspected changeling is often the most telling sign. The child might refuse its mother's milk, preferring to feed on strange substances or displaying an insatiable hunger. It might cry incessantly yet remain eerily silent when left alone. And when no one is watching, it might engage in unsettling behavior, dancing wildly, singing in strange tongues, or playing eerie melodies on makeshift instruments. The motives of the fair folk are shrouded in mystery, as elusive as the creatures themselves. Why would they go to such lengths to steal away a human child? Folklore offers a tapestry of explanations, woven from a mix of fear, superstition, and a grudging respect for the unseen world. One prevailing theory suggests a longing for love. Fairies, for all their magic and beauty, are said to be incapable of experiencing the depth of human emotion. A human child, with its capacity for love, laughter, and tears, represents a treasure beyond measure. Other tales speak of more practical reasons. Fairies, despite their otherworldly nature, are not immune to the challenges of life. They age, they sicken, and they require care. A human child, particularly a strong and healthy one, could serve as a valuable servant, tending to their needs and providing companionship. Darker whispers hint at more sinister motives. Some believe that fairies, driven by envy or malice, steal human children to sow discord among mortals. The arrival of a changeling brings with it fear, suspicion, and grief, tearing families and communities apart. Section 5. Warding off the fair folk protection against changelings. The threat of the changeling, however remote, has haunted generations of parents. To combat this unseen danger, a rich tradition of protective measures arose, passed down through families like precious heirlooms. Iron, that most human of metals, is said to hold power over fairies. Placing iron objects near a child's cradle, scissors, horseshoes, even simple nails, was believed to create a barrier through which no fairy magic could pass. Other protective charms included rowan branches, salt scattered around the home, and red ribbons tied around a baby's wrist. But physical barriers were only part of the defense. Equally important was vigilance. Mothers were warned to never leave their babies unattended, especially at night. Strangers, particularly those with an otherworldly air, were treated with suspicion. And any unusual behavior from a child, no matter how small, was scrutinized for signs of the changeling. Section 6 whispers across the continent changelings in different cultures. The legend of the changeling is not confined to a single country or culture. Like the whispers of the wind, it has traveled far and wide, taking root in the folklore of Europe and beyond. In Ireland, changelings are often associated with the Tuatha De Danann, a mythical race of beings said to inhabit the hills and mounds. These changelings are often described as possessing supernatural beauty, using their charm to lure unsuspecting humans into their clutches. In Scandinavia, trolls are the most common culprits behind changeling lore. These creatures, often depicted as large and grotesque, are said to crave the comforts of human life. They might steal away a human child to raise as their own, leaving behind a troll child as a substitute. In Eastern Europe, the creatures responsible for changelings vary widely, from water spirits to house demons. These changelings are often described as having unusual physical characteristics, misshapen limbs, oversized heads, or hairy bodies. Despite their differences, these tales share a common thread: the fear of the unknown, the vulnerability of childhood, and the unsettling possibility that the ones we love most could be replaced by something else entirely. Section 7. Echoes of Fear. Historical cases of changelings. The legend of the changeling is more than just folklore. It has left its mark on history, shaping beliefs and influencing actions in ways that are both fascinating and disturbing. In 1895, Bridget Cleary, a young Irish woman, was tragically killed by her husband and others who believed she had been replaced by a changeling. Bridget had fallen ill, and her unusual behavior, coupled with her husband's belief in fairies, led to a horrific act of violence fueled by superstition and fear. The case of Bridget Cleary is an extreme but not isolated example. Throughout history, there have been numerous accounts of people accused of being changelings, often subjected to cruel treatment or even death. These cases highlight the very real dangers of unchecked belief and the tragic consequences that can arise when superstition trumps reason. Section 8. The Enduring Mystery. Changelings in the Modern World. In an age of science and reason, the legend of the changeling might seem like a relic of a bygone era. Yet the stories persist, whispered in hushed tones around campfires and recounted in novels and films. Why does this ancient fear continue to resonate in the modern world? Perhaps it is because the fear of the unknown remains a powerful force, even in our technologically advanced society. We may no longer believe in fairies and trolls, but we still grapple with anxieties about illness, loss, and the fragility of life. The changeling, with its unsettling combination of the familiar and the other, serves as a potent symbol of these anxieties. It reminds us that even in a world bathed in the cold light of science, there are still mysteries that defy explanation, shadows that linger at the edge of our understanding. And so the legend of the changeling endures, a haunting reminder of the power of belief, the enduring allure of the unknown, and the enduring strength of our fear.